While the Germans employed many enemy types, one of the best was the Panhard 178 armoured car. A number of these vehicles had been captured in 1940 and taken into service. 43 captured French Panhards were modified for service in Russia as railway protection vehicles. Equipped with rail wheels, they operated in tandem with armoured trains, defending vital supply lines against Soviet partisans. Having made contact with the partisans, the Panhard crew would engage them with their cannon while calling up the armoured train for support. In 1944, the second source of RSOs came online when Klockner Deutz Majerus produced their own model, distinguishable from that of Steyr's by its angular body and diesel engine. By 1945, 25,000 RSOs had been built. Any proper understanding of the German army in the Second World War requires an appreciation of the vital role played by the armoured cars and half-tracks in both her victories and her ultimate defeat. In 1939, Demag began production of the 1-ton D7 half-track, which was to become one of the most numerous and important types employed by the Wehrmacht. The parent company transferred production of the unarmoured machine to other manufacturers to concentrate on the manufacture of the armoured version. Standardized as the Sd.Kfz 10, this half-track saw extensive employment throughout the conflict. The principal variant of the 1-ton was the Sd.Kfz 10/4 self-propelled anti-aircraft gun, which had the passenger section replaced with a flatbed on which was mounted a 20mm flak. 610 of this variant were built. By the time the type phased out of production in 1944, 25,000 had been manufactured in a program embracing plants in Austria, France and Germany. These included Sauerwerk in Vienna, Panhard, Renault, Simca, Peugeot and Lorraine in France, and Mechanische Werk of Silesia in Germany. A number of other German companies such as Adler, Büssing-Nag and Mayag built the type alongside Panzers and their own half-track types. The appearance of the type remained unchanged throughout its production life, the doorless body being designed as an open troop carrier for 8 men, with the soldiers clambering out and over the body to disembark for employment. The last variant on the 2318 Rad chassis entered production as late as December 1942 and was a direct consequence of the need to provide reconnaissance detachments with their own heavier fire support in the face of increasingly strong Soviet and Allied forces. The first 10 233s were converted from 231/232 chassis returned to Germany for overhaul. Thereafter, another 109 new-build vehicles were produced before production was terminated in October 1943. The main armament was the 75mm L24 Stummel cannon. The first 233 detachments entered service in North Africa in late 1942 and were extensively employed in the fighting in Tunisia, where this film was shot. Organised into platoons of 6 vehicles, the 233s would accompany the lighter 222s and 223s, which in this case provides the communications vehicle for this particular reconnaissance sortie. Most of the vehicles involved carry a modicum of foliage to give a degree of protection from eagle-eyed Allied fighter pilots. The 233 normally carried a mixture of 33 high-explosive and armour-piercing rounds, although, as in the case of other armoured vehicles, crews frequently carried more rounds depending upon the sortie and likely opposition. The 233 proved to be an effective and well-liked machine. These 233s of the 1st Panzer Division are in Salonika in Greece in July 1943. 233s were employed on all fronts and through to war's end. A number of these machines are seen here providing support to a mixed reconnaissance detachment of 222s, 223s and Volkswagen Schwimmwagens operating on the eastern border of Poland. The relief on the crew's faces is apparent as it becomes clear that the column of vehicles coming into view is not the enemy, but another reconnaissance detachment returning from its own sortie.